just insights into how the paper can be, because this is the first year that you are going to write in a UPSC pattern. So for your optional, so because they have changed the syllabus also this year, so and they also said the marks also have been reduced to 250, right? So 250 which is UPSC pattern. And looking at the things that OPSC is doing, my guess is most probably they are going to follow the same pattern as UPSC, sir. Same exact pattern as UPSC that they are going to follow. And in the UPSC pattern, which they give, how they give questions, I think you might be knowing about it. Earlier in Odisha, your examination optional, you used to get 60 marker questions, right? So majorly all the questions are 60 marker, but now most probably what they're going to do is they're going to break down the question, and in the 16 marker question they're going to ask 110. So and one or in 60 marks they can ask 215 markers. So and 130 mark, that is also possible. Sometimes what they do is 20 15 15 also they do. 20 15 15, no, so that is 50 marks. Yes, 50 marks is the question, not 60. So the question is reduced to 50 marks, and they will ask questions like 20 15 15. Then you also can expect a map in the exam, sir. So just like UPSC pattern, you can expect a map in the examination too. So that to paper 1 may. And in paper 2, when the question's nature changes from 60 to 20, usually what happens is in 60 marker questions, your more focus would be on the extent of your preparation. You're going to dump a lot of information in your answer for a 60 marker question. But when this question pattern changes to 20, 15 and 15, the more emphasis would be, because now instead of one answer, you have to write 3 answers, right? So earlier, if you prepare for some important areas in the exam, there is a good possibility that you are going to get a question from it, 60 marker. Some important areas. But the thing is now, in place of one question, you need to have a clear-cut clarity on 3 questions, sir. Not just one. So 3 questions पे clarity रहे तो ही आप एक question pick कर सकते. Is it true or not? Earlier, if you know very well about one issue, then you can write a 60 marker answer. Now you cannot write just one answer here, you have to write all 3, sir. So that creates a little bit of complexity while choosing the question, which question to write. So let's suppose there are 2 questions of 20 15, 15. So in this, for one question you know 2 answers very well, but one answer you don't know absolutely anything about. Then the second question is there. In this you know all the 3 questions but very briefly, and you are not able to write them properly. So which question to choose in this kind of situation? Second one. Why? So you can manage with some content. So for all questions you can manage with some content. Is it true or not, sir? Yes. So that is why you have to choose a question in which you know at least something about all the questions, sir. It is not good to choose a question in which you know only 2 questions, one question you don't know anything about. So that is not a right method to write answer. So what you have to do is you have to aim for the maximum number of marks, sir. Yes, this is one thing. So in this choosing of questions, this is one thing that you have to do. And second thing is when it comes to maps, sir. Map is an important section in this area. My idea is that if you prepare for at least the past 10-15 years UPSC map, most of the sites are going to repeat in your Odisha paper, sir. And map is the easiest part of your preparation in your history optional, primarily because so map is what? Map is identification of sites. And as you have studied history already, looking at map and remembering some sites and their significance, they will also add value to your other ancient and medieval answers, sir. So what you can do is there is one material online. So if you want to, so this is called as self-study history is the material for UPSC, sir. They have given so this kind of map preparation material, one material is there. If any one of your friends has this account also, you can take it. So last 15 years previous year questions or previous year 15-20 years वाला map का जो भी sites है, उन sites का बारे में जानना चाहिए, कहाँ पे है बोल के. Then after that you also have to know some information about it, sir. Is it clear? So this is one thing that you can do. And while preparing for map, you can classify them into Buddhist sites. So while preparing for map, Jain sites. Then along with that, Mahajanapada sites you can classify into. So this way you can have some super classifications of the sites too, because this is how UPSC asks questions, sir. So please have a look at the previous 20 years because it is a 50 marker question directly. So this is a directly 50 marker question. Math is a 50 marker question. That is the reason why it is better to prepare at least some 20 years maps, sir. And if you can get out of some 20 map points that they have given, if you get 15 right, then there will be no stopping you, sir. Okay, it is very simple because no one has done it till now. So this would be a bouncer question. So it would be better to prepare 20 years का map देखने में आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, okay, it would take half day, sir. There will be good time invested in this preparation. Then after that, the next part of the thing is, okay, so I have seen some answers of some students who have written history optional answers and they have brought them to me. So, and in the answers, what I have seen is, most of the students, they are not referring to any historiography for the question. There is no reference to historiography. Historiography is, in fact, for the academic subject of history, historiography is very, very important, and it is applicable to mainly, okay, modern history, okay, and ancient history. May you have a lot of application of historiography because it is these two areas where a lot of discussion happened over various issues, sir. Okay, I'll give you one example. Okay, there was a question on, okay, so in the last year mains that you have written history optional ka, there was a question which went this way. Okay, so democracy is not alien to ancient Indian history बोल के question आया था. आप लोगों को याद है 60 marker question. Okay, so for this question what you do usually without historiography, you just write that, okay, in ancient India, okay, historiography में number one, so we had democratic system during the Vedic period. Then after that there was Ganasangha assembly. Then after that there were Cholan assemblies in India. Yes, this way you will go on and so forth, right? Yes, so this is the usual pattern of writing answer. But the thing is, this question is out and out, the statement which is given is part of a historical debate, sir. But unfortunately what is happening is many students are not aware about this kind of discussions. The right answer for this question is, in fact, okay, it is the colonial historians of India who first stated that there is no democracy in India. Democracy as a concept is alien to us. And they also stated that, okay, for societies like India, dictatorship is more suitable, sir, because we did not have any democracy before. The first one is colonial historian dimension, and you should say that, okay, they said that in India there is no democracy, only dictatorship is suitable for India. Then after that, following the same tradition, even Karl Marx called Indian society as a Oriental despotism. Have you heard this term ever? So Oriental despotic society, he called India, sir, and he said that in India also there is no democracy. India is an Oriental despotic country बोल के उसने बोला. Then after that, the next thing what happened is we had this group of historians who are called as nationalist historians, and the statement which has been given is also a nationalist historian statement, sir. It is a statement of a person by the name of K.P. Jaishwal, and he is the one who said that, okay, democracy is not alien to India. समझ में आ रहा है? And he tried to find out the democratic traditions which are present in India before. Okay, it is said that Indus Valley civilization also there is no dictatorship. It was ruled by a council. Then after that, Vedic age, Sabha, Sangha, Sabha, Samiti. Okay, so all of these examples they have given. Then after that, the next phase of history is what? Okay, the next phase of history mein Mahajanapadas period is there. At that point of time also there are numerous Ganasanghas in India. Alexander was also resisted by a Ganasangha. So that is one thing that he has said. Then after that, the Ganasanghas from this period, they continued till the Guptan period. Even in Guptan period also we have seen Ganasanghas existence. So primarily because Kumara Mahadevi, she belongs to Lichavis, and Lichavis is also a Ganasangha. Yes. Then after that, the democratic tradition, it did not die out in India. Even in Guptan period also, people used to participate in administrative councils. The urban administration, rural administration mein. So in both places we had, okay, people participating. Urban administration mein we had this Adhisthana Adhikarana. Rural administration mein we have Ashtakula Adhikarana, which is people's participation is seen in Guptan age too. Then after the Cholan age, we had the very famous Uttar Merur inscription, so which talks about the people's participation. All these examples he has given, and here you have to write to prove that, okay, so definitely democratic tradition is present in India, sir. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Okay, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? Then apart from that, later day also in India, okay, because of the concept of Gram Swaraj, panchayats used to govern Indian society. Okay, in villages, panchayats used to have a very significant role. That is also a democratic system बोल के पहले इसने सारा examples दिया, sir. Is it clear? But the next thing is, okay, there were some historians who are called as revisionist historians who questioned this idea, sir. Okay, this idea was not completely accepted in Indian society. So what happened? Revisionist historians are the people who question the essence of some things. And in revisionist historians, they started studying about the various assemblies which are present, sir. And if you look at the assemblies, particularly the Ganasangha assemblies, Do you see the participation of women in this assembly, sir? Is there women participation? In Ganasangha assembly, there is no women participation. Is there lower caste participation here? There is no lower caste participation. The only participation which is present here is upper caste family head who is a male member. He alone is participating. Can we call this as democratic, sir? So this is one question. Then the second question is, even during the Cholan period also, okay, what was happening? Is it full-fledged democracy, sir? Okay, in the Sabha, it is like a lottery. It is like a pot ticket system, lottery. They used to give their votes. Then after that, a kid used to pick one sheet, and the person whose name is present there, he used to be elected as the head of the village. So this shows that this is not a full-fledged democracy. Then after that, even in the panchayat system of India also, usually there is typical upper caste domination everywhere. By looking at all these things again, there will emerge some questions on democracy. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So this is how you have to write this, structure your answer, sir. First side heading should be colonial historian said that there is no democracy in India. Second one is this colonial history. Then after that, Karl Marx, Marxist history also said Oriental despotism. Then after that, nationalist historian K.P. Jaiswal, he said, gave all these examples, but revisionist historians, they have questioned these things. Yes. Then after that, finally, you have to give your conclusion, sir. And when it comes to conclusion, what you have to do, you cannot deny the presence of democracy. And at the same time, it is not a full-fledged democracy. Yes. Okay. So in fact, what you can do is, you can compare it with, or you can say a statement saying that no part of the world had a full-fledged democracy in ancient or medieval times, sir. It's not just about India. No part of the world had a full-fledged democracy. Even the great democracies of Athens also were having limited franchise. It was given only to the educated people, and it was only given to male members. Slaves were not given any membership. So when Athens democracy, which the West thinks of as the ideal democracy, there are limitations there. So definitely India also had a democracy, but it had its own unique set of limitations. Bolke, you have to conclude the answer for this question. This way, this is a proper 60 marker answer, sir. And if you don't refer to these people, then automatically what will happen? The person who is reading, he cannot distinguish between a general studies answer and a optional answer. See, you take any other optional except for history, sir. With history, the main problem is what? That in history, okay, so the academicians of history, they did not come into the forefront. But in other subjects, what happened? Let's take political science. Without referring to the thinkers, can you write any answer in political science? In sociology, can you write any answer without referring to the political thinkers? But why are you not doing the same with history? In history, what you are doing, you are writing just one version of history, okay, for the people to read. But is it correct way of approaching the optional, sir? General studies, it is good, okay, no problem. But optional के लिए आपको definitely historiography लिखना पड़ेगा, sir. There is no other way out. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? So this way you have to write your answer with a good introduction, and introduction for the question can be on, okay, so the discussion of democracy. Okay, this debate has emerged in India during the Indian national movement when Britishers are denying Indian historical democracy, okay, whereas Indians are asserting it. So this discussion, it went on this way, okay, you have to give an extension to it, sir. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Yes, so this is how you need to write your answers. So for this, what you need to do, you need to have an organized thinking process, number one. Number two is what? You need to have the knowledge about them too, sir. These are some things which you can't do without knowledge. Yes, so knowledge also should be there. So what my plan is, okay, so the institute also has requested me, even though I have a busy schedule, when is your exam? Mid of February. So my mid of February, what I'm going to do is I'm going to conduct, okay, 4 full length tests, sir. Okay, 4 full length tests I will conduct, one for ancient medieval, one for modern and world, and again one for ancient medieval and one for, okay, modern and world. And in these tests, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give all these discussion oriented and applied questions in your paper, sir. Okay, and I'm going to give a online discussion for you. So online discussion may I'll give this kind of information also for you to write down. So to note down. So this is one thing that I can help you out with. So this is my plan, sir. Okay, this is my plan. So then apart from this, many other questions are also of the similar fashion, sir. Okay, so yesterday we have seen one question in general studies saying that Quit India movement is an un-Gandhian movement. Okay, that question is a full-fledged historical debate in history, sir. Okay, there are multiple historians who have supported it, opposed it. There are multiple viewpoints on the Quit India movement, sir. Am I making sense what I'm trying to say? See, in fact, in Quit India movement, so I'll just explain that question too. Okay, Quit India movement is considered as an un-Gandhian movement led by Gandhiji was the question, right? So for general studies, I have given one answer. Okay, but now you look it from the history point of view, sir. Okay, if you look it from the history point of view, first and foremost, okay, first you should write about some basics of Quit India movement, when it was launched, okay, what it is called, all of these things you can write in introduction, sir. And once you write these things in introduction, the next part of the answer, what you have to do, you have to directly jump into historiography, sir. And in historiography, okay, it is the nationalist historians of India, okay, who first said that, okay, Gandhi was the accepted leader all across the country and his ideology is followed, and the nationalist historians believe that, okay, Indian independence is an outcome of a non-violent movement against the British. Is it true or not? This is what we are fed from childhood. Yes, so this is the typical NCERT approach towards it. So what it said, okay, all movements in India are Gandhi-led movements. Gandhi leadership was accepted by everyone, and Quit India movement is also one such movement. Okay, and India won its independence also through non-violence. Okay, and wherever there are some elements of violence, okay, in those places it is primarily because of public radicalism. Okay, but there was no nationalist radicalism. Okay, this is the usual thing which is said by people. Only some pockets of public radicalism were there here and there. Okay, but there is no problem with every Gandhian movement is Gandhi came forefront, all Indians came behind him, and they together marched against the British, and through a non-violent way we have achieved independence. This is the story that we usually listen to, sir. Yes, but the thing is, with respect to, okay, the same Quit India movement, national historians have proposed it. Then the second one is, there are a group of historians who are called as Marxist historians, sir. And these Marxist historians questioned this thesis. They said that how can it be? Okay, the people are in fact fighting a violent revolt against the British. Yes or no? See, in fact, these Marxist historians, they clearly say that, okay, the Quit India movement is a clear-cut failure of Gandhian leadership. This is not a Gandhian movement at all. No one is listening to Gandhi. Everyone is fighting according to his own intention. So they give examples of public radicalism and violence. Okay, they say that Lakshman Naiko has done this in Odisha. Okay, more than 1,000 people are killed. More than 1 lakh are arrested. There was guerrilla warfare which was being done. Can you call this as a Gandhian movement? You cannot call this as a Gandhian movement. This is quite wrong. Okay, Gandhi's failure is clearly visible in Quit India movement. Is it clear? In fact, the Quit India movement is seen as a lower class movement which has rejected the middle class leadership of Gandhi. लोगों ने लोअर क्लास में सब मिलके क्या बोला कि गांधी का लीडरशिप हमें चाहिए ही नहीं, हमको लड़के ही हम लोग आजादी लेंगे बोल के they started fighting against the British. Are you following this, sir? Yes. So then after that, okay, so you might have heard about this name called subaltern history. You ever heard this term? Subaltern history is also one more school in modern Indian history, sir. So what these people did is they further taken forward the analysis, okay, and what they did is, okay, they said very clearly that Gandhi had symbolic importance in this movement, okay, and Quit India movement is in fact what they call as spontaneous movement. They call the Quit India movement as a spontaneous movement. There is no Gandhian interference in it. Okay, so it is a spontaneous movement. Gandhi just had a symbolic value in this movement. Are you understanding this? Okay, so in fact they make a statement, Gandhi is the unchallenged leader of the movement, but Gandhiism is never implemented in the movement, sir. Okay, so this is subaltern history. They make this statement. So this way, this question also has a clear-cut historiography of its own, ranging from national historians to Marxist to, okay, so these people who are called as subaltern historians. So more dimensions are also there, sir. So this way, if you write the answer, automatically what will happen? The quality of your answer will be enhanced. Are you trying to understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, you can give a clear-cut analytical approach in history, sir. Okay, but unfortunately what is happening is while writing history, the history academicians are not appreciating the students' answers which are not referring to any historian, sir. Okay, so the thing is, historians, when they are correcting the papers, okay, of students, they are feeling that, okay, so this is not the right way of writing history, because people are writing just one perspective of history. That is wrong. You have to do an analytical perspective of history. Usme, okay, so there is nationalist historian, Marxist historian, subaltern historians, and all of these people have different opinions towards the same issue. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? Yes, so this way some applied questions are quite possible because UPSC has shifted to this pattern of asking questions from 2013 on, sir. But when I say this, it doesn't mean that every question has historiography. There are only prominent some 10 to 20 debates in history which are very broad, and on these issues definitely they are asking at least 4 to 5 questions in each paper, sir. Is it making sense? Then apart from that, some remote issues are also there in history. On that also there is a possibility of a question. So this way we will try to learn these kind of applied dimensions in history, sir. See, yes, yes.
Sometimes the same question is asked, like, quick in a movement, spontaneous one. In that case, directly we have to jump into the viewpoint of subaltern historians.
No.
Mr. Guha said this thing,
yes.
Then we can start. How is it?
See, whenever any statement, okay, of an historian is given as a question, and the end word in optionals would always be more or less critically examine or analyze or discuss, sir. These are the 3 words. So when these words are given, so the intent of the examiner is what? I have given one statement which is one point of view. Okay, you give a proper introduction to this question. Then after that you give supporting arguments to the given statement. Then put across all the other views which are present on the same issue. You justify the given statement first. Then after that, what are the other views which are placed on the same subject matter also you have to write. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Yes. Then after that you have to give a conclusion based on different views of historians. You have to give a conclusion. So for the question that you have said, okay, so this movement is a spontaneous movement. So why this was made? Subaltern history, Ranjit Guha has made this statement. Then after that, supporting arguments are what? All the top level leadership has been arrested. The movement was not formally launched by Gandhiji. Is it true or not? That is the reason why it is called as a spontaneous movement. Yes. So people's anger came out because of the problems of Second World War. 4th supporting argument. Then after that, the 5th supporting argument is what? Okay, so you have to say that. So in this movement, rather than, okay, so the leadership, it is the people who started openly rebelling against the government. Okay, which can be seen in the list of martyrs of the Quit India movement. Most of them are very common people who are not associated with nationalism earlier. So a sub point usko support dena hai, spontaneous movement ke liye. Then usko, what are the opposing views? Opposing views are what? Nationalist historians. They say that Gandhi has prepared the ground for the movement beforehand. Do or die speech diya usne. Okay, so Quit India resolution also he has passed. So all of these things Gandhi has already done. That is the first thing. Okay, that is the reason why we should call it as a Gandhian movement. Then within the movement also there are many people who did not cross the Gandhian agenda of Hartal, Ghero, okay, and jail burn. Okay, these are Gandhian methods. Many leaders they confined to the Gandhian form of movement only. So that is the reason why they say that this is a Gandhi-led movement and it is not a spontaneous movement. Then the third group of historians are Marxist historians. They say that Gandhi has, okay, what he did, he hijacked the lower class movement. Okay, he hijacked the lower class movement and converted it into the Quit India movement. That is the Marxist historian perspective. Gandhi has hijacked the movement, lower class radicalism is there. He used it for his own benefit and to make India independent. Okay, so that is the third step. So these are the 3 views which are present. समझ में आया? So after that you have to give a conclusion. By looking at the Quit India movement, definitely, okay, we can say that there is a lot of spontaneity in the movement. There is no denying it. But at the same time, okay, in every revolutionary's head or in every nationalist head, the image of Gandhi remained a lasting figure. They might be doing some un-Gandhian things, but they are doing it in the name of Gandhiji. Okay, yesterday I have given the example of this Santals, right? You remember? Okay, so yes, so they started brewing toddy also in the name of Gandhiji. They established numerous toddy shops. Gandhi Teka. Okay, so वहाँ पे बैठ के सब लोग पी के, this is also Swaraj for them. For them, Swaraj means what? The right to brew their own liquor is Swaraj for them. Okay, so but they did not know that Gandhi supported prohibition. Are you understanding this? If Gandhi had come there, they would have offered some liquor to Gandhi also. Okay, that is how innocent public are in India, sir. That is the reason why there is a very famous study in history which is called as the role of a rumor in the rise of Gandhiji, sir. Okay, so this is one prominent historical study, okay, which is done by a group of historians who are called as Cambridge historians, who talk about the role of rumor in the rise of Gandhiji, sir. Because many people in India, when the Britishers went and asked them, who do you think Gandhi is? Many answered by saying that he is a saint who came from Himalayas, he has magical powers, and he has come in order to expel the British rule from India. This is one answer. And some other people believed that Gandhi is some form of spiritual doctor. That is the reason why whenever Gandhi used to visit any place, they used to bring a lot many sick people on their shoulders in order to show them to Gandhi, because they felt that by having a look at Gandhiji, okay, they will be cured. I'm not joking. Okay, so this way, Gandhi was in fact one of the most misunderstood personality across the country, sir. What Gandhi represented, very few people understood. Because today there are PhD studies on Gandhiji. Okay, but common people of India, everyone accepted Gandhi. Okay, he was given a symbolic place when his ideas were not followed by people except for a close group of his own, sir. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Just the appearance of Gandhi like a simple sannyasi. These are the things which attracted the Indian public towards him, and they never followed the Gandhian message. In fact, they used Gandhiji for their own purpose. Okay, Indian farmer is there. Gandhi launched non-cooperation movement. He never gave any speech against Jamindar. But the tenant farmers, all of them stopped paying rent to Jamindar, saying that Gandhi Maharaj has asked us to stop paying rent. But Gandhi never said it. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? So this is how role of rumor in the spread of the image of Gandhi is very, very important in Indian history, sir. So that also you can use. Quit India movement mein that is even more prominent. Even in Chauri Chora, just in order to give you an example, when 22 policemen were being killed, then after that their body parts were cut into pieces and they were thrown into a burning police station. And when all these things are being done, in the crowd, the single slogan that was heard is Gandhi Maharaj ki jai. Only slogan. Gandhi Maharaj ki jai bolte hi ye sab kaam kar li. Are you understanding this? So this is the nature of Chauri Chora movement too. All of these things prove that role of rumor in rise of Gandhiji is a very, very important dimension. Okay, on this overall picture, they can ask many questions with respect to Gandhiji. Is it clear? So then they can ask one more question was there. Okay, Gandhi from an absolute adherent to non-violence, with the time he moved towards soft violence is one more question that can be asked. This is also a very good question in modern India. They can ask this question. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? Yes. So, but this kind of historiography is not much applicable to medieval history, sir. Because medieval history में most of the questions are okay, very, very proper questions they will ask. Okay, which are theoretical questions only they will ask, sir. Okay, theoretical questions means if you know the issue, you can write about it. But in that kind of questions, high quality content plays a main role. Okay, not just any low quality content. Let's suppose, okay, if they ask a question on, they can ask a question in medieval India on, okay, one area which UPSC touches a lot of time is, okay, they ask questions in medieval India like, okay, so discuss about the religious policies of Akbar. Okay, this is one prominent question in UPSC medieval India, religious policies of Akbar. Okay, but writing a very simplistic answer for that is not good, sir. You have to give some high level content. You have to differentiate your answer from the next person. How can you differentiate your answer from the next person? By writing very good high quality content. And high quality content means what? Okay, you need to have a clear cut organization about the evolution of Akbar's religious policies, sir. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? Yes. So here, what you have to do, first you have to write about, okay, Akbar is considered to be a representative of composite culture in India, okay, by many historians. But at the same time, okay, some right-wing historians criticize Akbar for being a religious bigot. Is it true or not? Okay, some right-wing historians criticize Akbar to be a religious bigot. Okay, so the reasons for the same. First, you have to write influences on Akbar. That is the first side. What kind of influences did Akbar have, sir? Huh? Not Rajput influences later, but when he was young, he was first trained by a Shia by the name of Abdul Latif. Then apart from that, Bairam Khan is also a Shia who had enormous influence on him. Then apart from that, Akbar, when he was in his teens, he came under the control of some conservative ulemas. Of this conservative ulema, okay, Sheikh Ahmad Sarhindi is the most prominent. Under his influence he has come. Then after that, slowly Akbar's attitude towards religion, it changed because of the matrimonial alliances with the Rajputs. Okay, so then after that, okay, so Akbar was initiated into spiritualism because of Sufi tradition, and in Sufi tradition there is Sheikh Salim Chishti. Then after that, what happened in his life? So once he was initiated into this kind of spiritualism, he started studying about various religions. For that, Ibadat Khana became an experimental ground. Yes, that is next influence on him. Ibadat Khana, the religious discourses which are conducted, is the next influence. Then his association with Abul Fazl, Faizi, okay, who are also very liberal in their mindset, this also influenced Akbar's religious policies. So this way, first you have to write all the influences on Akbar. And in introduction, if possible, the sources of information about Akbar's period also you can write in introduction. Sources of information are what for Akbar's period? Okay, we have Akbarnama is there. Then only one book. There are multiple other sources for Akbar's period in history, sir. Okay, so there is one book which has been written by Badauni also. Okay, Badauni also has written one text on Akbar. Then apart from Badauni, there is one more called Tariq-e-Akbari. Okay, Tariq-e-Akbari by Nizamuddin Ahmadi. Okay, the person's name is. So Tariq-e-Akbari is there. This way we have multiple sources. Then after that, influences on Akbar. Then religious policies of Akbar. So when you write the religious policies of Akbar, first you have to write about his conservative periods. Yes or no? So during his conservative period, what actions did he take, sir? So he conducted or he declared the battle of Haldighati to be a jihad. Okay, and many people who were prisoners in the war, they were also killed, sir. That is his first action, Battle of Haldighati, that is conservative policy of Akbar. First one, that is absolute Islam. Okay, Battle of Haldighati. So this is one thing. Okay, so then after that, okay, so that is one prominent thing during his conservative period. I can give more points also, but not relevant now. So then after that, he moved towards a liberal phase. And in his liberal phase, the first or the most prominent religious policy of Akbar is, so you might have known about this policy which is called as, what is that? Okay, Sulhi-Kul. So you can refer to Sulhi-Kul. First, okay, Sulhi-Kul is an outcome of the discussions which are held at Ibadat Khana, and it means universal peace and brotherhood. So uske bare mein likhna. Then after that, what is the next thing that Akbar did during his time? So he has removed the religious taxes. Religious taxes were removed. Then after that, Din-i-Ilahi is one more faith that he has created, which is based on interreligious understanding, taking religious ideas from different religions. He has created Din-i-Ilahi. So that is one more thing that he has done. Then along with that, he also issued a document which is called as Mahzar, which declares Akbar to be the Khalifa of the age. See how well organized this answer is looking like. So if you can give this kind of structure with a very good content, then this would lead you to get very good marks in history, sir. See, in humanities, there is a standard form for answer writing. There is no one who can deny this. One is, first, every answer should have an introduction. Then, for the given statement, there should be supporting arguments. For the given statement, there should be opposing arguments. Then finally, there should be a balancing conclusion between all the views that you have presented. Primarily because all humanity subjects, every humanity subject is a search for truth. And when you are searching for truth, there will be multiple perspectives to it. Yes or no? And you have to come to a conclusion which is as near to the truth as possible. Without writing conclusion, how can it be possible? You have to write. Okay, there is no way out. Okay, so that is the reason why what you do is you should not resort to paragraph format. Paragraph format is suitable for 60 marker questions. When the questions come 20-15 marks, then automatically what you have to do is you have to write structured point format in answers. With micro-side headings of keywords, whatever keyword is there, you have to make it micro-side heading. Then brief explanation of the same, and because it is optional, the explanation should not cross 4 lines, sir. For one micro-side heading, 4-line explanation. Then move to the next micro-side heading. This way, so on and so forth, you have to continue and write your answer. सी ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको अवॉइड करना ही पड़ेगा. Okay, maximum you have to avoid paragraphs. Where it is necessary, essential, you can't escape paragraph in only those kind of areas where you conduct some discussion, where you come to some kind of conclusion. In those areas alone, you have to write paragraph. While presenting points, it's best to write in point format. Okay, sir. Because I'll tell you one thing. So the examiner who is correcting your paper, okay, would be somewhere around 50-60 years of age. First thing. Second thing is your paper will not be the first paper that he is correcting. Most probably he would have corrected some 30-40 papers before your paper. So naturally he will already know what he should expect from the answer. And while correcting, if he sees all the important points as subheadings with each point, then he will not take the effort of reading the entire line to sir. Just by looking at side headings, he will tick mark. And when you are helping him to evaluate, will he not help you with marks, sir? This is give and take. Otherwise, usually 50-60-year-old people, you see any of your parental generation, they can't keep their attention on any subject matter for quite some time, sir. If you write a very big paragraph, they'll read the starting, and by the time they go to end, what you have written in the start, they will forget. Is it true or not? So that is the reason why it is our job to ease the work of examiner. Okay, so I think you might be knowing last year in UPSC examination, not last before year, the first ranker was from history option. So her papers are available in a website called Self Study History. Okay, you see that those papers, you will understand how she is writing. Because her optional is also history. Shruti Sharma is her name. Okay, Self Study History में उनका पेपर्स है. आप डाउनलोड करके एक बार देख लीजिए उसका आंसर कितना कट थ्रोट है. Okay, so because you are also shifting from 60 marks to 15 and 20 marks, you also should adopt to the same methodology, sir. There is no escaping it. Is it clear? So this way, in a scientific way, we have to go ahead for history optional, then only we will get good marks, sir. All right, she got somewhere around some 320 marks, sir, in optional. Okay, 320 marks in optional out of 500, so which is top score for history. And in other optionals, even though there are better scores, in our general studies also she got very good marks, primarily because she followed this approach, sir. Structured answer, highly structured answers. Okay, by just looking at the paper, you will yourself be impressed. Just see the paper once. I'm not asking you to compare with her content. I'm just asking you to compare with her structure. The content तो थोड़ा 10 दिन 15 दिन एक ही सब्जेक्ट पे थोड़ा टाइम ज्यादा ध्यान दिया तो हम लोग को मिल जाता, लेकिन structuring is an attitudinal thing, sir. Okay, so now earlier administrative reports, if you look at, they used to be written in pages, sir. Then the exam pattern also used to be the same. Now today you see any IAS officer's brief note. Now is the age of brief notes, sir. In brief notes, what they are doing, they are exactly following the same answer structure in their note making process also, sir. Is it making sense? So that is what you have to do, sir. Then along with that, stay relevant to the question, read the question twice or thrice. Okay, so then stay absolutely relevant to the question. If you are not relevant to the question, it will look like when a villager comes and petitions you that there is no road for his village, you will lay a pipeline, sir. It is as if you are solving a different problem than the problem which is at the place. Primarily, all examinations which are government examinations are aptitude tests. They are the tests of your capability. They are not the tests of your content. Let me be very clear about it. Content testing exams are your, okay, so exams for MA, okay, then there is PhD also, PG is there, BA is there. Those exams are content checking exams, sir. But civil services exams are all attitude checking exams rather than content checking exams. If you have a very scientific personality, approach is also very good, and you can display it in your answers, then okay, you are done, sir. Okay, even if you make some mistakes in content also, they will oversee it. It's not a problem. The following what I'm trying to say. So this would be my approach, sir. Even world history also you have for syllabus, right? So in world history, okay, I think they're asking good number of questions. I mean, one half of the paper is world history. So world history के लिए भी आपको ठीक से तैयारी करना पड़ेगा, सर. And it will be better for you to prepare for most of the previous year UPSC questions का answers prepare किया तो आपको अच्छा होगा. And that too, don't prepare them on the basis of your own knowledge. Okay, so if you can find with someone self-study history ka previous year questions ka, okay, so there is one book, you can read through it. It is very good, sir. Okay, online also you can buy it, some 4,000, 5,000 rupees is there. So you can buy that, okay, and you can refer to the answers of these questions. And they follow this approach of historiography. That is the reason why it is the easiest way to prepare. So if you are newbies for the preparation, I would have asked you to buy some books. But now our stage is what? Final stage of the examination. Just how many days is there? 2 months is there, hardly. So in these 2 months, what you can do? You can refer to a good guide in order to improve your content. The best guide is what? The previous year question bank. Okay, PYQ question bank. This is there with answers, self-study history. So if you don't have, okay, 2-3 people together also can buy it. Okay, it is very good reference material, sir. You can see a jump in your history optional marks by 20-30 marks if you do this just one work, sir. And if each paper also 20 marks increase, there is no surprise. Because just compare your earlier answers with the answers that I am talking about now. Don't these answers look more, okay, in tune with the demands of history optional? Okay, so this is the work that you need to do, sir. So please work on this, and I will also help you guys in this process. So every 10 days I'll conduct one test. Okay, 40 days. Okay, so from today is what, 10th? 9th. So next 19th के दिन पे, so आप लोगों को एक exam रखूंगा sir. I'll give one test for you. Then after 19th, 29th would be the next test. Then 9th would be the next test. Then after that, okay, one more 19th would be the next test. Then after that, okay, if need be, I can conduct some 1-to-1 sessions too. So 1-to-1 sessions also I can conduct. Okay, so that is the case. I'm almost done. I'm almost done, ma'am. Okay, so but no problem. But whatever I have talked to you in our session, the same things I have discussed, it's not an issue. So yes, if you have any questions, please ask me.
Sometimes we see, statement-based questions from the world history.
Yes, good.
So how to approach such type of questions?
Yes. See, which can you give any example for the question, statement-based question?
Napoleon was died out of Spanish cancer.
That is one statement. Okay, that is also basically historiography question, sir. Okay, but in that question, in world history, usually what happens is, because the historians are global historians, only in some cases we have to refer to their names, sir. There is no need for you to refer to their names. In this question, okay, Napoleon died due to Spanish ulcer. That is a question, critically examined is the question. First you write Napoleon Bonaparte's time period. Okay, so then after that you write briefly about him, okay, or his contribution or his glory के बारे में brief लिख सकते आप, introduction हो जाएगा. Then, okay, so first side heading would be Spanish ulcer as a reason for his decline. Okay, so why is Spanish ulcer considered to be the reason for his decline?
And also they buried the agricultural agricultural fields.
He installed his younger brother as a king there.
Yes. See, why Spanish ulcer is considered as the reason for the decline of Napoleon Bonaparte is primarily because the Spanish Civil War, it represented nationalism, sir. Okay, first side heading you have to write, okay, rise of nationalism. Okay, Spanish Civil War, Spanish ulcer is nothing but rise of nationalism in Spain. Because he has installed his brother as a king on Spain by removing the local monarchy. So the people felt it as a hurt sentiment of nationalism and they started revolting. Is it clear? Nationalism is one factor. Second factor is what? Why Spanish ulcer is considered as a decline for Napoleon Bonaparte? The second thing is the Spanish ulcer, it involved guerrilla warfare, sir. With popular support, guerrilla warfare it has in. When guerrilla warfare is fought, what happened is the French army was not able to decisively conclude the battle at any time, sir. Because guerrilla warfare denies conclusion of battle. So there was no conclusion for the battle. That is the second problem. Then the third problem is the grand army of Napoleon Bonaparte. It was completely exhausted in the Spanish Civil War. And the Spanish Civil War, it also inspired revolutions against Napoleon Bonaparte in other places across Europe. Then fourth reason is what? The Spanish ulcer also signified the fall of continental system of Napoleon Bonaparte, sir. समझ में आया? 4 reason. Now, after that, the other factors in decline of Napoleon Bonaparte also you have to write. Because humanities is a search for truth. You have to write the first supporting arguments. And what are the other reasons for decline of Napoleon Bonaparte? The other reasons for decline of Napoleon Bonaparte is primarily because of his Russian invasion, sir. Spanish Civil War only dented his power, but his power was completely destroyed because of the Russian invasion, where he lost majority of his army. That is the first one. Then the second reason for decline of Napoleon Bonaparte is what? Tell me. Yes, that is guerrilla warfare. Okay, scorched earth policy, guerrilla warfare, the same thing. Then the second main reason why Napoleon Bonaparte lost the war is Napoleon Bonaparte was never able to succeed against English, okay, in his naval warfare. The bigger threat for Napoleon Bonaparte is what? The English Navy is a bigger threat for Napoleon Bonaparte. That is the second factor. Then the third factor behind decline of Napoleon Bonaparte is what? Napoleon Bonaparte, what he did is he started working against the ideals which he stood for earlier. He started suppressing liberty, he started suppressing equality, he started suppressing fraternity. He is the child of revolution, but he also destroyed the revolution. So that is the same thing. So yes, same, almost similar things you have to write. Then this is the third dimension. Then after that, the fourth dimension for decline of Napoleon Bonaparte is his conflict with the Catholic Pope is one more reason. Because he arrested and put him behind bars. And the Catholic world, it considered it to be a great disgrace for them. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? So this is one more factor for his decline. Then the last factor is the rising power of England is the most important factor in decline of Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, he could have survived the Spanish ulcer, he could have survived the Russian defeat, but the English joining hands with numerous powers and creating the 7th European coalition, which finally defeated him, is the death or is the last nail in Napoleon Bonaparte's coffin. These are the factors. Then finally you have to give a conclusion. Okay, so the Spanish ulcer is not the sole reason for the decline of Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay, but it signified many more diseases or many more problems which Napoleon Bonaparte's empire carried in itself. बोल के आप conclude करना पड़ेगा. It just signified. It is just the symbol. But the underlying problems and challenges are all present. बोल के आपको conclusion देना पड़ेगा. समझ में आया आप लोगों को कैसे लिखना है इसका आंसर? Yes. So particularly on French Revolution, Napoleon Bonaparte, there is a lot of historiography. Okay, are questions on Enlightenment asked for you? Rousseau, Voltaire. Okay, so then it will take some time for us, sir. So through tests, through questions, I will try to educate you people on these areas. Yes. Okay, so because the Rousseau's idea of a republic. Okay, so and along with that, they can ask a question on Voltaire's statements. Okay, these are all possible questions, sir. Good questions are possible here. Okay, so please work on these things. Okay, my discussions also will be a little longer because 250 words means, so 250 marks means what we have to do? We have to discuss 5-10 marker questions. Then along with that, I have to give you choice too. So those questions answers also I have to discuss. So it is going to take some time. Okay, discussions might be somewhere around some 3.5 hours long. Okay, that is for sure. So then apart from that, yes.
So one more thing is math-based questions.
Yes.
This is something new for us.
Yes.
We never prepared for that.
Yes.
Who's that?
See, it's very simple. I told you about the various categories of maps that can come. Buddhist sites can come. Okay, port towns can come. Then uske saath mein there is one thing that is like Jain sites, temple sites can come. Political capitals can come. Okay, so then after that there is Neolithic, Paleolithic and Chalcolithic sites also there. Okay, so आप previous 20 years का जो भी map pointing का है points, so उनका सबका solution आप निकाल लीजिए और उसी को okay map पे रख के practice कर लीजिए. You have to buy one map, political map of India, so which shows India, Afghanistan. Okay, so then along with that there is the Sri Lanka also is shown very clearly there, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So this Indian subcontinental map you have to take. And on this map, okay, so there will be points which will be denoted by them. So what you do is you also point those sites. Okay, where Gandhara is there, where Takshila is there, where Purushapura, that is Peshawar is there, where Pushkalavati is there, where Patliputra is there. So all of these things you mark on map. Clear? Okay, but this is 50-50. We don't know. Okay, but tomorrow you should not blame me. If the question doesn't come on map, you should not blame me because this is a First time, no. First time that we are seeing the paper this way. So that is the reason why there is a possibility that they can ask map question. Okay, but if they find it difficult to find a map, then also we don't know, okay, what they're going to do. So this way, so for the coming 19th, okay, 1/9, the test would be on ancient and medieval, sir, which will also include one map based question. Okay, so I'll conduct one full-fledged test, sir. So 250 marks question paper I'll give. So you try writing that paper. So then I'll evaluate the papers and I will discuss the answers with you. But it will be completely online mode. Maybe on January 20th I'll be here. So one discussion I can do offline. Okay, so one discussion I can do offline, but most of my discussions will be online. And if you have any questions, you can call me too. Okay, you can ask time from me and you can call. It's all right for me. All right. So this is the plan. Yes.
One question. Because writing introduction in GS and writing introduction in optional,
Yes.
optional is slightly different. So is there any particular approach that, while writing the optional introduction, we have to follow certain rules?
See, most of the times in history optional also, the introduction which is very suitable is a timeline based introductions. Okay, for history optional, the introduction itself is timeline based introduction. When any issue is given, usually the question never specifies the dates or time period. When you mention the time period of a particular event, then it shows, okay, that you are understanding history in a chronological format. Okay, and you can talk about some things which happened before them, before the said event. Okay, so said event के पहले क्या हुआ था? So let's suppose Akbar religious approach पे question आ गए. So then you can refer to Akbar came into forefront in religious sphere after the Bhakti and Sufi saints have created the platform for him. They also talked about the same composite culture and he also started talking about the same composite culture. So Akbar started working on the platform created by, okay, so his predecessors during Bhakti and Sufi movement. बोल के आप इनकी introduction दे सकते हैं. Then along with that you can write the time periodization of Akbar. You need not be very specific. You can say that, okay, Akbar belongs to late 15th and early 16th century. No, late 16th and early 17th century. Okay, late 16th and early 17th century. You need not specify the dates when he was crowned, when he died. So no need. Okay, so at least this way if you can put it forward, it would be very good for your answer, sir. Okay, okay, so any other question? If you have any other questions or doubts, you can ask, sir. Okay, so see,
Can we have like a generic format for that?
yes, there can be a generic format, sir. Okay, so personality based questions के लिए there can be a generic format. See, the thing is, first and foremost, you have to write an introduction, okay, talking about the contribution of the said leader, okay, some glorious introduction or his time period. So that would be a good introduction. Then after that, okay, you can write about, okay, his early years, can be one-sided. Okay, so early years is one-sided. Then after early years, some things about his life. So where he is born, if you know it. So which area he belongs to. Okay, what kind of situations he has faced in his life can be one. Then after early years, the second part should be the ideology of the person. This is more important than writing about some information. What is the ideology? Let's suppose a question is asked on Patel. Patel belonged to an ideological group in Indian national movement which is called as Congress right wing. So you have to write his ideology is in sync with Congress right wing and what all Congress right wing has represented. Okay, first is anti-socialism in outlook. Second one is conservative in religious policies. Okay, or socially conservatives are there. They are against quick-paced social changes. Then along with that, they supported capitalism, right to private property. That is what Patel did. Okay, Patel, that is the reason why he introduced right to property as a fundamental right in Indian constitution. Then apart from that, the next dimension is, okay, so in Congress right wing, what they did, they always followed the Gandhian leadership. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को? So then along with that, in post-independent India also, they wanted to create a country which is based on liberal capitalism rather than state-led socialism. Then along with that, the Congress right wing also created cooperative movement in India. Because Patel is responsible for the first cooperative union in India, that is Amul. Okay, so he established the Khaira Milk Union, which later on became Amul. That is his contribution. So all of these things are his ideology. Okay, then after that, okay, prominent events in his life, which movements he participated in, right? Then after that, you write a conclusion. Introduction, early years, then after that, okay, ideology, and after that, okay, his or what did I say? Contribution in various events. Okay, contribution in various events is the next one, and finally conclusion. This would be the best format of answer writing, sir. Okay, but if the question comes on some personalities of Odisha, definitely distinguishing the ideology is a little difficult. True or not? Okay, you don't find the ideology of leaders very clear. Clear ideology is not seen. Okay, but for national leaders, for all of them, this approach is applicable. Then uske saath mein koi aur question, sir? Okay, any other question from your side? So you fundamentally try to reorient your approach towards history optional, sir. Yes. So just I have discussed about it. So you take some political maps of India which shows the Indian subcontinent, sir. Okay, then in this, what you do is you segregate some into Buddhist sites. One map you make for Buddhist sites. And in previous 20 years UPSC questions, wherever the Buddhist sites have come, okay, you mark them, sir, in map. Then this map is done. The second map is Jain sites. Some prominent Jain sites you mark. So whenever we talk about Jainism, the main sites that we remember are what? One is this Mount Abu, Dilwara temples. Yes. Then the second prominent Jain region in India is Khandagiri, Udaygiri. Bhubaneswar is the second center. Okay. So some prominent Jain sites you think from history perspective, and you see the previous year questions. You will find all the Jain sites. Only the things which are relevant for you, you mark on map. समझ में आया आपको? So then after that you move to the next site. Next sites are what? Okay, let's take the case of Mahajanpada capitals is one map. So some prominent Mahajanapadas are there in India. So one is, we can mark Rajgriha here. We can mark, okay, so one more prominent is Champa is one more. Okay, so then apart from that, we can mark Vaishali. So we can mark, okay, Kapilavastu. Yes, in Nepal. So this way you mark the sites. Okay, and you keep it with you. Then after that, you need not, okay, so again go to the source for this, sir. And you just remember some 3 points about each site, sir. 3 points. Okay, 3 point याद रहना चाहिए. Kapilavastu आया तो Buddha's birthplace, then capital of Sakya Mahagana Sangha. Okay, then apart from that, any other reason why you should remember Kapilavastu, sir? Kapilavastu is what? Buddha's kingdom. Okay, Sakya Mahagana Sangha's capital. Then apart from that, any other reason that you need to remember Kapilavastu for? Is there? Birthplace is Lumbini. There is a stupa there too, sir. Okay, stupa there too. So ऐसा कुछ लिखना चाहिए आपको हर एक पे. So Rajgriha is given. So Rajgriha is the capital of Magadhas. Okay, so and this capital was present from the time of, okay, so this person Bimbisara. Okay, then who has left the capital, sir? The capital has been shifted by this person called Udayin. Okay, who was the son of Ajatasatru. So he shifted the capital. Huh? So that you have to write. Okay, so this thing, Rajgriha means what? It is a Griha, or it is also called Grivraja, because it is a city which is surrounded by mountains. Done. तो ऐसा 3 पॉइंट थोड़ा याद करने के लिए ट्राई कर लीजिए सर. And don't spend too much time. Make some 10 maps. Okay, mark the points and leave them, sir. Is it clear? So that is what you can do. Yes. Any other question? But if they ask maps, they will ask most probably from previous year UPSC papers only. They will pick the map points and they will give them. Yes. Yes. See, what these people did earlier too, they tried to establish a truth. That is their version of truth. That's it. पहले आप लोग बोल रहे हैं कि कुछ सच है कुछ झूठ है. पहले झूठी हिस्ट्री हम लोग पढ़ते थे. यस, तो वो झूठी हिस्ट्री में क्यों वो झूठी हिस्ट्री वो लोग लिखा, ओके, उसका क्या पर्पस है वो भी लिखना है हमें. झूठी वर्ड यूज नहीं करना है आपको. तो आपको क्या करना है, देयर वाज अ डिफरेंट अप्रोच टू हिस्ट्री एंड एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम हिस्ट्री वाज परसीव्ड इन अ डिफरेंट फैशन बोल के आपको लिखना है. इट वाज कंसिडर्ड और इट वाज परसीव्ड इन अ डिफरेंट फैशन. यू आर नॉट से कॉलिंग देम लायर्स, यू आर सेइंग दैट देयर अप्रोच इज नॉट इन द राइट. हाउ मच डिफरेंस इज देयर बिटवीन दीस टू थिंग्स? Yes or no? Okay, you are not criticizing anyone because colonial historians, they have said many things which are very wrong. Okay, so what you should say, this is their perspective towards history बोल के आपको लिखना है बस. Yes, that was present in early Vedic period. Yes. See, the thing is, you can't completely deny also the existence of caste. We have evidences for both, right? Okay, the same Vedas that you are talking about, Rig Veda में ऐसा statement है कि एक एक फैमिली में 4 बच्चा है तो एक एक को एक एक और किसी का capability से उसका वर्ण determine होता था. Okay, so then after that, if you look at the same Vedic literature during the later Vedic period, there are other attachments to the Vedas too, like Brahmanas are there. Okay, so which are explanatories on Vedas. Then Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras were written down. And if you look at the Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras, some of the most inhuman caste discriminations are present there too. Okay, Vedas में एक वर्षन है, लेकिन धर्मशास्त्र का वर्षन भी है ना मनुस्मृति में. तो कैसा लिखा गया कास्ट का डिस्क्रिमिनेशन के बारे में? How the Shudras and women are both denied moksha in Dharma Sutra. They said it very clearly that women and Shudras cannot attain moksha. They should not read the Veda. It is also said that if any person tries to teach a Brahmin about the Vedas, his tongue should be cut. This rule is clearly there in Manusmriti. So that is also there, this is also there. Okay, so that is the reason why what we have to do is humanities is a search for truth, sir. That's it. Both versions are there. Ambedkar focused on one version, Gandhi focused on the second version. Okay, both of them are correct in their own way because both the practices coexisted, sir. Some places we see, okay, the acceptance of even the lowest castes of the society into God's cult primarily because of their bhakti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu clearly proclaimed that, okay, for a person who is in bhakti, there is no caste for him. That is very progressive idea. But at the same time, okay, in the same society, there was such brutal discrimination against the scheduled castes of the society that they were not even permitted to walk in the temple street. Forget about entering temple. Temple street में भी permission नहीं. Okay, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu जैसा लोग भी थे, and at the same time there are also people who are, okay, highly socially conservative. Is it true or not, sir? Okay, so that way you have to make humanities as a search for truth, write different perspectives. So these are the things which are said on said issue. So ऐसा लिख के आपको conclusion देना पड़ेगा, sir. All right. Okay. So any other question from your side? World history questions. That's what. Okay, I'm trying to say. World history questions are also mainly knowledge-based questions, just like medieval. There is not much of historiography there, sir. Okay, so they are all knowledge-based questions, particularly Enlightenment. Okay, then after that, French Revolution. Then after that, okay, World Wars. All of these are content-based questions only. So you read that. Okay, so I have told you self-study history वाला previous year question का आप पढ़ लीजिए, उससे आपको बहुत अच्छा information मिलेगा. And even that, if you want some more information, you can go to this book which is called as Norman Law. Yes, Norman Law is the best book for history. Okay, so Norman Law is the top-notch book for historiography. But the unfortunate problem is it covers the history only from the time of First World War to Cold War. It doesn't have the French Revolution. It doesn't have the 19th century history उसमें नहीं है. Yes, fascism, Nazism, they are good. Okay, but the problem is for these sections, see, I don't want to burden you with any books now, sir. Okay, for the other section, there was one book called El Mukherjee. Do you know about it? So El Mukherjee is best for 19th century history. So French Revolution and after is one book. So there is one more book. There are many books, sir. Okay, but you can don't do all these things. Prepare for previous year UPSC questions. 2 months time you have. Write some answers. Listen to the discussions. Go and write what you know in the exam. Okay, now if you touch any new book, what feeling you will get? Arey, I did not prepare anything. So you will go into a self-doubt, sir. That is not a good state to be in. So what you have to do is you prepare what you know very properly. I'll do some value addition. You prepare some previous year UPSC questions. So that would be more than sufficient for the work that we are going to do for the next 2 months. All right. So this is one work that you need to do. Any other questions from your side? See, I'll tell you my personal experience. I'll narrate to you, sir. Okay, so once 2013 say I saw keywords use karna shuru kiya. Okay, before that there were no keywords in UPSC. They used to ask like 10th standard questions which used to end with a question mark very simply. Okay, no headache for us. So very easy to write. But from 2013 they have introduced it. So in 2014 there was a very famous UPSC Pandit in Delhi. Okay, very big teacher. Okay, so usne bola I'll explain the keywords which are being given in UPSC book. So all of us went. I was sitting in first line only. So because I was also preparing then. So usne shuru kiya class. Then what he said is, when UPSC asks, okay, the word discuss in the question, no, not discuss, first he started with critically examine. Then what you have to do is, you have to critically examine in the answer बोला उसने. मैंने सोचा, okay, so ठीक है. So उसने बोला critically examine दिया तो critically examine करना पड़ेगा आपको. Then I felt that, okay, next keyword he might be explaining again. So then after that, the next keyword was analyze. Then when analyze word comes, what you have to do in your answer is you have to analyze बोल के उसने बोला. Okay, what he is doing, he is just adding emphasis to the word and repeating the same word. Okay, so then after that I wanted to ask you, sir, if the question comes discuss, should I discuss with the examiner or should I discuss with the person who is sitting as an invigilator? I wanted to ask. किससे डिस्कस करना है? तो उसमें क्या है? ओके, इन सब वर्ड्स का एक ही मीनिंग. Even if the word, okay, like illustrate is given also, you have to write in humanities for all things, supporting arguments, opposing arguments, and a reconciliatory conclusion. This is the standard form of writing answers. Q? You tell me. I didn't understand your question. So, कैसे? क्यों चेंज करना है आपको सीक्वेंस? क्वेश्चन आपका ऊपर है तो उसको आप पहले सपोर्ट करना है, फिर उसके बाद उसके लिए अपोजिंग आर्गुमेंट लिखना है. फाइनली कंक्लूजन में आपको बैलेंस लाना है. इफ यू ब्रिंग द बैलेंस, व्हाई विल देयर बी एनी नेगेटिव इंप्लीकेशन? Okay, I'll just give one example. Okay, so you take out your book Harihar Panda. Okay, so in that book also you see the story of Kalingan War. They follow the standard tradition of history writing. What he does, he refers to, okay, so the impact of Kalingan War on Ashoka, the section you read. He refers to multiple number of historians, how each one has seen the Kalingan War and impact on Ashoka. Okay, initially people said that he got completely transformed. Okay, बहुत बढ़िया बुद्धिस्ट हो गया वो. So then he's moved from violence to non-violence. ये सब लिखा पहले. बाद में when they started reading more and more, they understood that Ashoka's policies, they are more directed by, okay, his political needs rather than his ethics. Okay, so because he did not liberate Kalinga, he in fact converted 1,50,000 soldiers into prisoners of war. Then he committed a genocide here in Kalinga and he apologized in Shahbazgiri. Hey, can I, sir? So there is one more view. Okay, it is just a political tool of Ashoka is the second view, sir. His Dhamma is a political tool because already he has extended the empire to the farthest possible extent. Now he wanted the people to be more submissive to him. For that he preached Dhamma. That is the second view. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को अभी? So Ashoka बहुत बदल गया, एक view. Second view is that he is more of the same. Is it making sense? So this way, then the Rock Edict 13 also clearly gives warning to the tribes that if you do anything which is not in my interest, then the king also can punish. That is the reason why Ashoka's policies are usually called as, okay, iron hand in a velvet glove. The glove is velvet. If you touch it, it looks very smooth and soft. But if you try to crush it, then you will understand the strength of Ashoka's policies. Okay, so this way you have to write the answer for this question. Clear? Okay, so iron hand, velvet glove. Okay, so कोई भी बात किया तो अशोका सो okay, हंसते हंसते ही बात करें, लेकिन वो आदमी बाहर जाएगा कि नहीं, okay, वो बाद में डिसाइड होगा. So that is the nature of okay Ashoka's policy, sir. You can write the answers for these questions. This is the next question. Okay, so this way, the thing is you can see in your Haripara Panda itself this kind of approach, where okay they try to find out the truth, and UPSC answer or your exam answer is also a search for truth similarly. Clear? Okay, so this that. Any other question? Any other question from your side? Okay, so you can scan and upload the copies, right? For my evaluation, okay, scan and upload the copies. That would be better for me. Any other thing that you want some clarification from my side? Okay, for your optional mains, optional mains, Odisha history is also there, right? I find that Har Har Panda is a very good book. Okay, so that is one-stop destination for you, for your optional preparation too. It has historiography, it has various approaches, but the thing is, it has a lot of factual content. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to neglect some sections, sir. Okay, so I have seen the entire book. Okay, so when I was looking at this Ganga dynasty, many rulers who are not relevant for the exam are also mentioned, because it is a full-fledged history. So you have to neglect all of them. So you just identify the most prominent rulers that you can quote in examination if a question comes on Gangas. Okay, so that Ananta Ganga Chola is, or sorry, what is it? Huh? That is one. There is one more Ananta Chol Ganga is there? No. Ananta Varman is there. Ananta Varman 3. Yes, so Ananta Varman 3 is there. These are the two prominent rulers who are present there. Don't read the rest of the section. You cross it out. And you just read these two sections and you can quote. Clear? So that way you can use your Har Har Panda book. Okay, even in case of integration of the princely state into Odisha, there is also one prominent question for you, right? So in that question also, all the princely states are mentioned. 26 princely states, each princely state में क्या problem है? ऐसा हम लोग आंसर नहीं लिख सकते. That is meant for information. तो वहाँ पे वो सब neglect कर लीजिए आप. Just remember 1 or 2 examples. That's it. समझ में आ रहा है? So ऐसे आप लोगों को burden कम करके उस book को पढ़ना है सर. Otherwise, if you approach the book directly to read it from cover to cover, it is not possible. You can't chew and digest that book. Okay, so this is one approach change that you can take up. So this way you can work it out, sir. Okay, it will work for you. So any other question from your side? So I think this gives some kind of clarity for you. Yes, so we'll see, sir. Okay, we'll start the test and then we'll see, okay, with time, if there is any other additional requirement, I'll cater to it, sir. So by looking at your answers, I'll get a little more clarity with respect to where you stand. Yes. Yes, I'll do that because your syllabus only, right? So I have, okay, so even though I was introduced to the book late, okay, I almost am done with the book, Har Har Panda. So I'll be able to do it. And many things are related to, okay, so Indian history only. So it's very simple for me. It's not a major problem. I'll include the questions. All right. Any other question from your side? Okay, so please prepare for the exam. Okay, most probably it will be on 19th. You'll get some information from the institute. I'll send a question paper. You write the answers, sit here, scan and send them to me. So then after that, a day or two after, I'll conduct the discussion. Okay, because I have full packed schedule for the coming 2 months. So I'll conduct the discussions on Sundays. Okay, fine. Thank you.